Okay, this is Joe Leigh here, seconds out. Tyrieq Campbell, it's good to speak to you again. It's been a while. I've just checked. It was December 2020. It doesn't feel like that long since we last spoke, but how are you, man?
Good man. Time just flies by, man. It's good to catch up with you. As always. Yeah, things are all good. Can't complain.
Good to hear. What's been happening then? Let's start off with yourself, your career. Up at cruiserweight now. Just talk to me about the latest of what's going on in the amateurs for yourself.
Yeah, up at cruiserweight now and senior now. So next season is all senior fights now. So yeah, head guard. That means like head guards are removed, obviously. And yeah, so it's exciting times now up at cruiserweight. Still trying to grow into the weight because obviously coming up from a boy, and I think the last weight I was competing at was like super middle. So it's a big jump. And obviously I had COVID and stuff like that. And most people grow in COVID, but obviously when we last spoke, I was telling you that I was still training. I wasn't like eating rubbish and shit
Yeah.
like that. So obviously I was still healthy and naturally growing as a boy to a man, and that's still a process now, isn't it? So up at cruiserweight now, I still got some filling out to do, but we'll get there.
Yeah, that's the main thing. What have you been working towards then? Is it still that Olympics? Obviously, we have.
Still the Olympic goal. Still the Olympic goal. Just at a new weight now. So it's still that Olympic goal.
What was the thought process in moving up?
It's not a case of I moved up. It's a case of natural growth. But
Yeah.
again, like at this size, there's a lot of people that's a lot bigger in size. So, like I said again, from a boy to a man, it's going to take some growing into the weight, and that will happen just in time. And I'm sure I'll get there.
No, it sounds like natural progression as you say. And
Mhm.
the sparring's been getting better. Obviously, we spoke last time. You'd sparred a Coley. You've sparred the top level guys for a long time.
Yeah,
Obviously, being in London, I feel like that's helped. But you've gone to the Midlands. Been down at Manning's gym a little bit, but Ben Whitaker's one that I've seen most recently. But it's been continuing top sparring with the top guys. Just quickly, sparring Ben Whitaker obviously had a great performance. But what's it like to get that working?
yeah. Last time we spoke, I said I think I started with Coley and Bill and Smith, and obviously Ben fought on the undercard of that Bill and Smith fight this weekend. Yeah, the sparring's been good. Obviously, for me to travel down to Manning's gym in Birmingham is a trek, but Anthony is a great guy. He always makes me feel welcome, and Manning's is a great facility. So yeah, it's nice down there. The sparring with Ben was very good. Good for the both of us. You know, he was pleased, I was pleased, and we both progressed and both learning. And we're sparring under the watchful eye of the under Sugar Hill. So yeah, I'm only gonna learn from that kind of knowledge around me. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
And
100%.
obviously Ben's been to the Olympics as well. So for me as an amateur coming up, that's the next step. So you got to be in with the best. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know. I've seen your YouTube video with Vidal Riley as well. One that I forgot to mention, but just quickly on Ben's performance on the weekend. I wasn't in Bournemouth, but I've obviously seen that stoppage pro debut. Obviously, he's a level above that. We knew that anyway. But
Mm.
how far do you think he can go after seeing that?
Um, yeah, I think he can go to the top. You know, he's got that amateur pedigree, being an Olympic silver medalist. Obviously, there's a transition into the pros, but having the likes of Sugar Hill help you um, make that transition, you know, sky's the limit, really. So as long as he keeps learning and stuff like that, it's not really my place to assess his performance and stuff like that. I think that's for Sugar to assess as his coach. But as long as he keeps learning and growing as a fighter, what as fighters do, yeah, I don't see why he can't reach the top in his weight division.
Definitely. How motivation is it for you then, on a personal note, to be able to be in and around these people, then see them perform on the big stage?
It's great. Uh, it's all learning, and I'm soaking in the knowledge. But at the end of the day, I know my time's coming. So it's not long now. I'm just taking it all in. Obviously, I still have that goal of the Olympics, but I've been in the ring and been around some of the best professionals that are out there today. You know, last time we spoke, I sparred a Coley, who's now world champion, Ben Smith, who's British, European,
On the verge
and
now, yeah.
exactly. And I've probably sparred about a handful of Olympians, including Ben. So yeah, it's all learning. I'm soaking in the knowledge, and I'm grateful for the experience. Grateful for the experience. But I'm next. I'm next, man.
that's what that's what you want to hear of a young fighter. What's your like? How do you get to the Olympics? How's your like mindset now? What's your small targets in order to reach that long-term goal?
So the process is to win the national championships, and then you get onto GB. Obviously, last time we spoke, we mentioned that I won it at junior and youth. So to do it at senior now is like where it's most important because that leads to being on GB, and then obviously you have tournaments for GB, and then it's that Olympic process. So yeah, it's all a process really, and we can't get ahead of ourselves, but we're taking each step at a time. Starting with growing into the weight, and then yeah, we'll be competing.
It's good to hear. And obviously, AJ is one of the best Olympians and one of the best heavyweights over the last 10 years now since he fought in the Olympics. And obviously, Usyk fought in that same Olympics, winning gold at heavyweight. Obviously, AJ at super heavy. But what do you think is going to happen in their highly anticipated rematch? For me, bro, it's more exciting than the first.
100, is definitely more excited of the first. I feel like it's kind of a case where it's all on the line for Anthony Joshua, and it's a kind of a must win because where does it go from here? Obviously, there's fights like the rematch with Dylan White, Deontay Wilder, and stuff like that. But a fighter that's been on the top and been at the top always wants to remain on the top. He wouldn't be. I doubt he would be pleased losing again. Every fighter hates losing, but he knows this is sink or swim now.
Yeah, it's so intriguing because you've obviously got the new trainer in Robert Garcia. It seems kind of obvious at this point that AJ is gonna go for that knockout. I think he has to go out kind of not for the kill, but he has to go out early because that's Robert Garcia is known for that kind of style as well. I don't think Robert Garcia is going to be teaching him more of what he was doing in the first fight.
Yeah, I think a lot of people feel that Joshua tried to outbox the boxer in the first fight. I'm seeing a lot of like things on social media saying that Joshua needs to fight like how Chisora did and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, each fight is different. Joshua's not Chisora, so he can't just go in there and have a brawl and expect a knockout because that's not him. Each fight is different. He's got thoughts like himself. And Chisora is a good fighter, don't get me wrong, but he didn't beat Usyk. So if that didn't work, who's to say that this brawling for AJ will work? You know what I'm saying? So he's just got to go in there, be himself, and stick to his strengths. I guess. Yeah, I guess just got to stick to his strength really, because Usyk is a great skillful fighter, isn't
Yeah, I think that's true what you say, and I think with Chisora, obviously, we all know Chisora himself knows AJ is obviously a level above Chisora,
Chisora,
so he could pull off what Chisora couldn't. Having said that, yeah, beating Usyk, no matter what you do, is such a tough ask, and AJ's been in there, and no one else has been able to be in there with Usyk and try their luck again, be in a rematch with Usyk. So, yeah, it's definitely going to be intriguing.
who do you think's going to win? How do you see that fight going?
I want AJ to win. It's hard to bet against Usyk though. I like making like final predictions. Obviously, it's not about me; it's about you. But I like making the final predictions on like fight week when I see them weigh in, maybe even a day before, because you can fully see what shape they're in. You can almost kind of read their mind a bit fight week when they're on the scales, how they're feeling, if they're confident. Like Josh Taylor, Jack Catterall, for example. But yeah, I think whatever happens, I want AJ to win. I want to have that big name. I want that AJ Fury fight, and I think we'll go on to that now. That fight there, AJ Fury Undisputed's the biggest fight in history, or definitely British boxing history.
Yeah, it makes for a good fight. The question is Tyson going to come out of retirement? Who knows?
Yeah, come on.
But
We don't even talk about that anymore. He's going to come out of retirement. Whether it's Thor first and then AJ.
the fact that he's saying like, he's willing to fight for an exhibition and then fight AJ for free and stuff like that shows that, yeah, he might come out of retirement. But at the end of the day, the guy's done it all. He's won it all. You know what I'm saying? He's entitled to retire if he wants to retire. Um, Obviously the public want him to fight again, but it comes a point where you got to make the decision for yourself whether you want to fight again or not. But everyone's got to see that fight. It's got to be a fight that's got to be made. If AJ does win, this it's got to be a fight that's got to be made because no fights are really gonna be as big as that. If you think about probably AJ versus Wilder after Usyk now, it'll be big. Don't get me wrong, but it's never gonna be as big as AJ versus Fury. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But yeah, man, it makes for a great fight, and hopefully Tyson comes out retirement.
And one more, I'm going to ask you about Derek Chisora, Tyson Fury. Obviously, over the last 24 hours, like I wouldn't say news has broke at all, really, but that's a potential fight now. I just want to get your opinion on the Derek Chisora, Tyson Fury fight if that was to ever happen.
Yeah, I've seen a little bit about that, but I've not seen too much. But that's definitely not a fight that I want to see. Um, I think Chisora has done great for his career, but he's getting on a bit now, and sometimes fighters need to take a step back. But it's not for my place to say. If he wants to keep fighting, good luck to him. Do you know what I'm saying? But yeah, I would retire at the stage that he has been at in his career. And yeah, I don't want to see him in the ring with Tyson Fury, and definitely don't want to see him in the ring with Deontay Wilder.
Yeah, I think a win against Pulev at that stage in your career is actually like very, very good. It's inspirational because he's obviously had like 3 losses, I think, before that. So yeah, retiring after that would be acceptable. But it's Derek Chisora and he wants more money, and obviously big fights, more money.
Yeah, you're right. That win is something to retire on. So why not retire? Do you know what I'm saying? But yeah, no, I don't want to see that fight happen. I'd rather see Tyson versus AJ. You know what I'm saying?
100%, bro. I think most of us would, to be fair. Yeah, we'll catch up again soon. I won't leave it so long. I guess I apologise for that. It's been basically a year and a half.
All right,
man. Yeah, we'll do this again soon. Obviously, 2024 is the goal for you in Paris. But yeah, before that, we'll have some of a catch up and see where you're at.
No worries, man. I appreciate your time as always. Big up Joe Leigh.